And I'm sitting in this chair, and there was a bookcase next to me, and I'm kind of looking at the bookcase, and I'm just looking at the books. And I see these like 3 huge volumes that say UFOs and alien abduction. And I'm like, do you care if I look at that? And he was like, yeah, look at it anytime you want. Come over anytime you want and look at it. I was like, okay. And so I'm looking through these, and they were volumes. I mean, these 3, I think there was like, maybe, there was like 3 or more volumes, and they were thick volumes. They were like maybe 3 inches thick, and the font was like 8-point font or something. I mean, or maybe even smaller. Because I mean, it was all technical data. It wasn't even written like as a story or anything. It was all technical data. They had engineering on UFOs. They had biological data. They had sociological data. They had all this stuff. I'm looking. I just kind of glanced through it a little bit, but I remember this one section that I looked at, and it was about alien abduction, and it showed where they put the implants, and it was in the ear. It was right near the ear, or near the ear. Anyway, somehow I fell asleep, and when I woke up, it was like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and we got there. I mean, we got there. I mean, I remember the club closed at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember what time their gig ended, but we left there before the club closed. So we left there before 2 a.m. And, I mean, I look back now and I'm like, what the hell were you doing? You're going to go to a party at 2 a.m.? But I mean, I was young. I was, and I trusted this guy and I considered him my friend. I don't know what to say. It's just, but it's stupid. I look back now and think that's really stupid. But I don't know what to say. I mean, it is stupid. But so I fall asleep and I wake up and it's like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So I mean, I was out for. I mean, that was pretty weird, because I don't normally do that. I don't normally just go to sleep. And then when I woke up, my purse was missing, and then I got my purse back, and they went to another location to get my purse back, and I couldn't figure out why they went to another location to get it. And then my ID was missing, and they never did find my ID. So that was pretty weird. It was actually really, really scary. And then years and years later, there was this guy that I met who said that he worked at a military base just outside of Los Angeles. And he said that he was in charge. He was in the military, and he worked at an Air Force base. Actually, I think he said Air Force base. And he had to he was working as a guard in this one hangar. And he said that there were all these civilians like standing in the airplane hangar, and they were just standing there. He said they just looked like they were in a trance, and they were wearing civilian clothes, and he thought it was really weird. And he kept saying, he's just like, you look familiar to me. Like he was trying to insinuate that he thought I was there, like he thought he saw me there. I kept having this reoccurring dream right around that time that I was in some kind of train. And I thought it was that I was in a train underground because there were like these lights flickering in the upper corners of the room. It seemed like it was kind of like an elongated room, so I guess that's why I thought it was a train. And there were like these lights flickering in the upper parts of the room, and so I kind of thought we were in a train underground. And I remember they wanted me to go talk to these guys, and I didn't want to. And know what they were trying. I don't really know, but I just, like, later on, I mean, I look back and I'm like, oh, I wonder if that was a dream. It was a dream, but it was like a reoccurring dream. I kept having it over and over again. I can't believe I just remembered that, by the way, because I didn't even remember that before. One other thing I wanted to cover, I don't really plan on doing this again, by the way. I want to get all this out. As you know, only going to be if I remember something else, because I just want to make sure I get all this stuff out to you guys. Because it's just so weird. I just hope that it puts together some missing puzzle pieces for people out there that are experiencing this stuff. One thing I wanted to mention was trigger phrases, and how they are sometimes able to make you say things you don't even mean, or things that you don't even know why you're saying it. Things that you don't mean to say. So, like, I can just think off the top of my head a couple occasions that I was talking to people, and I said something, and they would be like, "Why'd you say that to me?" And then I'd think about it, and I'd kind of just go, "I don't even know why I said that to you." And it just kind of came into my mind, and I just said it. Why? Does it mean something? And they were just like, and then they'd kind of get all weird, and they wouldn't want to talk to me again. I've had that happen more than one time, and it was always like things that I would say that popped into my mind that I didn't even really mean to say. And I don't mean like bad things. I'm just talking about just anything, just like a word or a phrase that you kind of say. You don't really mean to say that, but it comes out of your mouth anyway. It doesn't seem like, it's not like a bad thing. But thing is, though, like, I realize this now because, like, perps will do it to me, and then even other TIs will do it to me. Like, they'll use key words and key phrases, like I said, that are connected to abuse that happened when I was a toddler. And I just, I wonder, I think they're able to get us to say things sometimes that are key phrases and key words that are traumatic for the people around us, and we don't even know. And so, I don't know. It's really hard, but I just try to stay conscious, and make sure that I don't say words that just pop into my head randomly. Just kind of speaking without thinking, I guess, is how that happens. And it especially happens when you're, like, if you're doing drugs, then it's really easy for them to control. One other thing I just wanted to say, when I was in Hollywood, I don't want to get into extreme detail about this, but when I was in Hollywood, during the time that I was medicated, I started receiving thoughts in my head that were like instructions to go places. And this one time I actually just did it because I wanted to see if it was a real communication that someone was trying to do, or if it was just my own weird thoughts. And I went and I followed this instruction to this one place, and this girl walked past me. It actually ended up being a labor ready, as weird as that may sound. And there were all these, like, kind of older guys standing outside, and I didn't really fit in. I'm kind of standing there. All of a sudden, this girl walks by. She's really pretty, and she's tall, and she didn't fit in at all in that area where I was. And she walks past me, and I, like, heard out loud. I heard a voice that sounded like it may have been coming from her. It was a female voice, except I didn't see her mouth move, and she didn't turn to look at me or anything. But as she walked by, this female voice said, "Follow me." And she went inside the building, and I was just like, hell no. I just freaking went home. But the reason I'm telling you guys that is because if you're medicated on any kind of drug at all, it changes the frequency of your brain, so they can send you. It makes it easier for them to communicate with you, and then they start giving you instructions and stuff like that, and that gets really weird. I don't know what would have happened if I had followed that girl. Maybe I would have been recruited by the underground or something. I don't know. But I'm also telling you guys that because you need to be aware that there is an underground that's kind of like living amongst us, of people that, for example, people that have been hearing voices that are giving them instructions, and they're actually following the instructions. I mean, you already know that because you hear about that in the news sometime, but I'm just telling you it's more widespread than you realize. And because I've been trying to express to you that I was just this normal person. I mean, I don't think I still consider myself a normal person. I'm not ill at all. I'm not mentally ill. I'm not physically ill. I'm not ill, period. I'm a normal person, and I'm a decent person who has tried to do what she was supposed to do throughout life, and this has happened to me. And I'm trying to express that to you, and that's the reason I was telling you that I work for Disney, most of the time when I was Hollywood. I wasn't. People, they want to believe that these bad things only happen to criminals or mentally ill people, or they want to believe that because it's so scary. But I'm here to tell you that you've got to face this, because this can happen to you or your children. It can. And, it's not something that I did. It was that somebody else wanted to use me as an experimentee, and have been doing that. It's not, and they've been doing it that my whole life. I know that they've been doing it my whole life. So I just want you to know that, I've seen things and I've experienced things, that there are some really, really weird things going on. And I just want to tell you, please, if you're on any kind of drugs, just please get off the drugs as soon as you can. Just anything. It doesn't even matter what it is. Just get off the drugs, because it changes your brain chemistry. It changes your brain chemistry, and they can do all kinds of things. They can control you like you're a little robot if you are using drugs. I think that's pretty much it, really. I don't think there's anything else, if that stuff's not weird enough for you. It's everything I've told you is true, 100% true. My ideas on why things are happening, etc., is of course my own opinion. Can't help but do that. I just wanted to say one last thing, and that is that these people are purposely breaking up families and relationships. It's really important to realize that, like, if they're able to send impulses. That's the other thing I want to cover really quick. They're able to send impulses to your brain to say or do things. But of course, a person with a really strong will is not going to just do whatever their impulses that they get. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, is just that the gang stalking, they're doing the gang stalking because they want to break your will. Because if your will is broken, you're more easily controlled. They can control you better when you're on drugs, and they can control you better when your will is weaker. So that's why they do the gang stalking, because they're trying to weaken your will. OCD, it's not a disease, it's psychotronic. It's psychotronic mind control, and it happens to somebody whose will has been broken down to the point where, and it happens to children. I mean, I already see them doing like weird stuff with my son, like making him do all these repetitive patterns and stuff like they used to do with me when I was a child. It's everybody. They plan to control. I'm sure of this. They plan to control everybody. It's not just a few of. They're doing the experiments on a certain number of people, but that number of people is going to continue to grow, because they're planning to use these techniques on everybody. They want to control the whole world. They're psychopaths or whatever. I don't know, but they want to control the whole world. So I'm gonna let you guys go. That's pretty much it. Good luck with everything, and honestly, I have to say, I really hope this whole thing is almost over. I really do, because it's terrible. It's really terrible what they're doing. They're raping and pillaging our world. So I do want this to end very soon. So peace out, you guys, and good luck.